The man picked up a wad of chewing gum, smeared it onto the robot's face, then rubbed it a few times, and a human face took shape. Next, he implanted artificial hair on the scalp, and a flawless head was complete. Once it was attached to the neck, the transformation was finished. When Andrew saw himself in the mirror, he was completely speechless. When he was first built, he was nothing more than a chunk of metal. When Master Martin brought him home, the whole family disliked it. Luckily, Martin took him under his wing, allowing him to stay in the basement. By then, household robots were already widespread, strictly following the 3 laws of robotics. So, when the eldest daughter told Andrew to jump out of a window, he didn't hesitate. When Martin saw Andrew all battered and broken, he was furious. He called his 2 daughters over and told them, "Andrew may be a machine, but you should still treat him like family because he is one of us." But Andrew didn't blame his young master. He simply walked away and prepared himself in silence. Unlike the eldest daughter, the younger one actually liked Andrew. One day, while playing by the beach, she handed him her favorite crystal horse. But Andrew fumbled, and the delicate figurine shattered in an instant. The little girl was devastated. Andrew knew he had messed up. That night, he stayed up learning woodworking. A pile of wooden planks was already prepared. In the end, he successfully carved a wooden horse. When he gave it to the little girl, she was overjoyed, as if she had gotten back something irreplaceable. To thank Andrew for his gift, she gave him a wooden puppet in return. To her, this wooden horse was like a tiny seed planted in her heart. But to Martin, it was something extraordinary, because creativity is what gives objects meaning, and Andrew was capable of it. At first, Martin was skeptical, but that night he heard music coming from the basement. When he quietly went downstairs, he was stunned to see Andrew had repaired the phonograph. Eyes half closed, Andrew was completely lost in the music, just like a real person appreciating art. Martin was now convinced Andrew was no ordinary robot, so he took him to the robotics headquarters. He told the director about Andrew's self-awareness and his astonishing creativity. The director was just as surprised. Then he explained that Andrew's chip was probably defective. He offered to replace him with a more advanced robot and even pay to take Andrew back for research. Martin realized they would dismantle Andrew for study. Without a second thought, he took Andrew and left. On the way home, Martin told Andrew, "After finishing your daily chores, you can have free time to create." Andrew didn't fully understand, but he was grateful for the opportunity. From then on, he spent his days playing with the little girl and learning to make even more amazing things. At night, he would find Martin to ask about human knowledge, but none of this made the mistress of the house any more accepting of him. Because of that, Andrew also collected a ton of joke books. But it wasn't because his jokes were funny, it was the way he told them so seriously without realizing why they were amusing. Over time, they all accepted Andrew. In his free time, he would play the piano with the young lady. One big hand, one small hand, dancing across the keys. Time flew by in a blink. Before long, she had grown into a young woman, but she still adored Andrew as part of the family. By now, Andrew had mastered all sorts of skills. He had become a master clockmaker. Martin suggested they auction off his handcrafted clocks, but then came the question, who should get the money? Since Andrew was technically their property, all the earnings should legally belong to Martin, but the young lady insisted that every penny should go to Andrew. Martin noticed something subtle in her feelings. He warned her, "Andrew